The water of Loch Ness is dark. It is a deep, cold expanse, holding secrets for centuries. Hills cloaked in mist rise from its shores. The surface, often placid, can quickly turn to a turbulent slate grey. People have gazed upon this water for generations. They feel a sense of profound wonder, mixed with a primal unease. From this ancient landscape, a single question emerges, persistent and haunting. Is it myth, or is there evidence of something large and unknown hiding in the depths below? Is it just a myth, or are we ignoring the data? This is not a simple query. It is a puzzle woven from folklore, eyewitness accounts, and scientific inquiry. The modern legend was born in the spring of 1933. A new road had been completed along the northern shore of Loch Ness. It offered motorists an unprecedented, clear view of the water's vast surface. Suddenly, sightings began to surge. Aldi John McKay were driving home one evening when they reported seeing an enormous whale-like animal rolling and plunging in the water. Their account, published in a local newspaper, was the spark. It was a credible story from respected locals. Soon, others felt emboldened to share their own strange observations. The stories began to multiply with astonishing speed. A veterinarian, on his way to an emergency call, claimed a bizarre creature crossed the new road in front of his car. He described it as having a large body and a long, undulating neck. Drivers, tourists, reported seeing humps breaking the surface or long, dark shapes moving just below it. The local inns, cafes, buzzed with speculation. A quiet, rural story was quickly transforming into a national sensation. The world was beginning to pay attention to this remote Scottish loch. The media of the day recognized a compelling narrative. Newspapers from London and beyond sent their top reporters, photographers, north. The story of the monster was a perfect escape from the grim headlines of the Great Depression. One image rose above all others to define the mystery. In 1934, the London Daily Mail published a photograph that seemed to offer definitive proof. It was submitted by Robert Kenneth Wilson, a respected London surgeon. The image became known as the surgeon's photograph. It showed a small head and a long, slender neck rising gracefully from the rippling water of the loch. It was stark, elegant, chillingly believable. For 60 years, this single photograph was the cornerstone of the Loch Ness Monster legend. It shaped how millions imagined the creature. The power of the photograph was immense. It made headlines around the world. It appeared in books, documentaries, encyclopedias. The credibility of its source, a medical doctor, lent it an air of scientific legitimacy. However, even from the beginning, some experts had doubts. They pointed to the object's scale and the lack of any corresponding body parts. Yet, without a confession, the image held its power. The truth did not emerge for decades. It finally unraveled in the 1990s, when men involved in the plot came forward to tell the true story before they died. The photograph was a deliberate, cleverly executed hoax. Marmaduke Wetherill, humiliated by the Daily Mail after hippopotamus foot fakes, built a model with his son and stepson, a toy submarine with a sculpted head and neck, and had Dr. Wilson act as the credible frontman. Well, that's how the deception held sway for so long. After the exposure of hoaxes like the surgeon's photograph, the search for evidence turned to more reliable methods. Science offered new tools to peer into the loch's opaque depths. In the latter half of the 20th century, sonar technology became the primary instrument for serious investigation. Sonar, or sound navigation and ranging, works by sending pulses of sound into the water. By analyzing the echoes that bounce back, operators can create a picture of the lake bed and any object suspended in the water column. It is, the closest we can come to seeing in the dark. Several major sonar expeditions have swept the loch over the years. One of the most famous was the 1987 survey Operation Deep Scan. A fleet of nearly 24 boats lined up across the width of the loch moved in formation, creating a sonar curtain that scanned the entire body of water. The expedition was a massive undertaking, bringing together scientists, enthusiasts, and the world's media. The hope was to either find the creature or prove that the vast emptiness held no large animals. The results were complex and intriguing. The Operation Deep Scan team detected 3 significant sonar contacts, large solid moving objects, bigger than any known inhabitant of the loch. The sonar contacts of Operation Deep Scan were not isolated incidents. Over decades of investigation, numerous research teams reported similar unexplained phenomena. Dr. Robert Rines and the Academy of Applied Science led repeated expeditions across the 1970s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. They used sonar and underwater photography. One sonar chart appeared to show a large, long-necked appendage. The accompanying flipper photograph looked like a diamond-shaped appendage moving through murky water. The evidence fascinated some, but scientists heavily scrutinized it. The flipper photo is blurry and open to multiple interpretations. Could be part of the lakebed, could be a trick of the light, could be deliberate manipulation. Sonar charts show large moving objects but lack the clarity to identify a species. The data is tantalizing, yet falls short of scientific proof. The loch offers clues, but never a clear answer. Investigating Loch Ness is immensely challenging. Modern multi-beam surveys revealed wrecks and geology, ruled out caves, yet anomalies persist. There is another powerful force at work in this story, one that has nothing to do with biology or sonar. It is the force of economics. The Loch Ness Monster is not just a mystery, it is a multi-million-pound industry. The legend draws hundreds of thousands each year. They come from all over the world, cameras in hand, hoping for a glimpse of the famous creature. This influx supports hotels, restaurants, gift shops, tour boat operators. The story of Nessie is the region's most valuable brand. Guides will point to a ripple or a shadow on a screen to keep excitement alive. Souvenir shops sell countless plush toys, t-shirts, and models of the monster. The creature's image is everywhere, from shop fronts to local ales. Many locals cherish the legend as cultural heritage. The mystery itself is the product being sold. The story of Loch Ness is a powerful collision of science and belief. Science requires evidence that is clear, repeatable, verifiable. And by that standard, the case for a large, unknown animal here is incredibly weak. There is no body, no DNA, no undisputed photograph, no fossil record. Yet we have decades of eyewitness accounts and sonar contacts from experienced operators that remain unexplained. The tourism machine turns myth into economic reality. After all the searching, one question remains. What lies at the bottom of the deep, black water?